For this round, we see Tamao Cameron playing his Turbo Ray deck against Ryan Moorhouse playing his, Turbo Water deck, but with a small difference here to what we saw Alex play, which is the Glaceon. Should be some really interesting games, and yeah, I hope you enjoy them. Basically, two of the biggest names really in the UK. Tamao this year has done incredibly well, won nationals, come top 8 at ECC, and Ryan's done the, not very small feat of winning 4 regionals and cracking the 1,000 point total as well to be in contention of the top 22 invite, which he managed last year and narrowly missed top 32 worlds last year, and I believe 2014 actually came in top 16, not too far away from making the top 8. But yeah, so two pretty big names, very good players, and we should see them have some very interesting games. There were a few small things where this matchup was quite hard to navigate as a commentator, probably very hard to navigate as the players as well. So a few things missed here and there, like the fact that Jolteon can heal from rough seas was never in my head, for example. But you'll see that come into action and everything like that. So we'll go into the games in just a second. So Tamao's calling the flip. Let's see. Right, so Ryan loses the flip, so it's Tamao first, I assume. So okay, this is actually a really interesting matchup. It's Turbo Ray versus the Turbo Water deck. Now, they both have a mulligan here. And okay, so Tamao draws back into a hand with basics. Pretty good start going there. I think he's going to be able to do all the setup and... Oh wait, no. Yeah, he has Versus Seeker and Compressor. And Ryan has a pretty good hand by the looks of it as well, though 2 water could be an issue. Okay, yeah, so Tamao, as I thought, would Compressor. He's probably going to Compressor away a couple of supporters, maybe a single Lightning Energy. And get his, get his race start. I think he's going to go... Yeah, I think he's considering N. I think I like that because, as I can see here, he's got 2 double colourless in hand. The other card he might discard is probably going to be something like Hex or a Sycamore, or probably just another supporter. He's looking to hit that red card this turn as well, but if you have to play your supporter right at the start of the turn and you're not managing to go through all the Shamans, that makes it less likely. And of course, you won't be able to play the Hex this turn. It's some debate, I think, to putting the float on here, but he's just going to hold that and play the Versus Seeker for N. So let's see what he gets. Quickly see what Ryan gets as well. Oh, Ryan's hand's still going back in. So, well, Tamao's hand's pretty good to keep developing some stuff, and Ryan's hand not so good unless that Trainer's Mail gets him like an Ultra Ball or something. But no valid options of Trainer's Mail, just other Trainer's Mails. It's quite funny. So Tamao's just going to set up. He actually, so he saw a mulligan hand of Ryan, so he probably knows what he's playing. Oh, and he finds the red card. I really like this. Debating on whether to play it. Because he doesn't, of course, know what Ryan's hand is, but in goes Ryan's hand, and oh boy. Well, this time we really hope something hits off that Trainer's Mail, or this could be short work. There are a couple of interesting cards in Ryan's list that could cause some damage in this game. He is playing Glaceon EX, which when it uses a second attack, Rayquaza can't. The Mega Rayquaza can't attack to hurt it, so you'd be stuck with Jolteon doing Flash Ray like 3 times for a knockout, which is honestly just not fast enough, not enough, and especially as Glaceon can do it in 2 hits. So Tamao's biggest weapon here is the speed of his deck. So he's got Skyfield as well. I think he's maybe going to hold it to bounce a Rough Seas. Tamao's a very... Oh, no, he's just going to Mega Evolve and end turn. I think that's fine. Have something ready for next turn. He's set up pretty well there. Oh, and Ryan draws into another Toad. So this Trainer's Mail... Oh, boy. Oh, no. Well, Ryan, when the chips are down, makes every play he can, just as any player does. And, oh, no, misses the Max Elixir. That would have given him a slim chance into the game, maybe in a turn or two. This is not looking too promising. Yeah, he just passes the turn back. Tamao's probably breathing some kind of sigh of relief here. And now that Versus Seeker... Well, what I was about to say is that Versus Seeker would mean Tamao could only play N. But he finds Sycamore and Lysander off of Trainer's Mail, and he might just go for the Lysander to try and knock out the Toad this turn. But no, he just goes for the Sycamore instead. Now he'll put down the Skyfield, as it would be going in the discard anyway. Shaman for a couple of cards. So, yeah, this is one way that you can win as the Rayquaza deck. Not let Glaceon ever attack. Interestingly enough, actually, Ryan doesn't play Regice, and I really do hope they can't hear me now, because that's quite important information. So, yeah, he doesn't play it, and of course all of Tamao's attackers are EXs. And there's a card that Tamao isn't playing, which is actually quite useful for Regice. So, of course, neither of them know this yet, so Tamao's just going to do what you normally would and put the energy on the Rayquaza. And he's actually not going to Sycamore here, which I think is wise, because he has all the options he needs in hand, and he's just going to Hex to really potentially shut Ryan out of this game. And then he Emerald breaks. Takes 2 prizes. Just have a little look at what these prizes are. Well, duplicates. Oh, and oh, what a stroke of bad luck. Just as Tamao decides to Hex, which honestly is the correct play, Ryan top decks an Ultra Ball. So he now puts a Fury Belt on the Toad, forcing Tamao to hit 7 basics on the bench. Tamao's just going to go straight for the Sycamore. I can't remember if Tamao's playing 3 or 4 Skyfield, but there's potential that that one there was his last one. Looks like he does get... Oh, no, he draws the last Skyfield. Looks like his hand's actually pretty good to continue setting up. You can play down 2 basics right away, and then Ultra Ball into enough to kill the Toad. Ryan's just about holding in this game, though. He knows when the... You know, how to make the exact right play when you don't have the right cards in hand, and he's done that so far here. He's forced the Fury Belt. He's forced the 220 damage, the full bench knockout, by playing down the Fury Belt, and while keeping enough cards in his hand that he can Ultra Ball next turn, assuming that Tamao wouldn't play Hex, which of course he didn't. So, no, Tamao benches the Jolteon, evolves the Mega Ray, and there we go. He's got his full bench and a setup, so of course he doesn't really need much this turn, but there's obviously no reason to not set up. He probably wants a float at some point. He's, yeah, of course Versus Seekering at the end of each turn, because Toad is what's down on Ryan's field, and he just wants to be a little careful. Considering that AZ there, by the looks of it, but I think the right play is just take the Sycamore and just hold your options, really. Attach the energy. You don't need to Ultra Ball there. I'd maybe even attach to the Jolteon to give a possible secondary attacker. The Hooper's actually very smart as well, because that means I think everything else has only 1 retreat, except maybe the baby Rayquaza, but then if that's dragged active, it could potentially evolve and attack. So, devastating game so far. Tamao takes prize 3 and 4 on turn 2. And we go back to Ryan, who now, yeah, plays that Ultra Ball. And he'll go straight for a Hooper, no question about it. An interesting thing to consider is what Tamao will actually discard when it gets to rough seas. I believe it will just be the Hooper and 2 Shamans. I don't think there's any reason to discard Jolteons in this, just because they give free retreat. Yeah, so he's gone for the Manaphy and 2 Shamans. I think the 2 Shamans actually might be right, just to keep yourself in this game. Of course, Tamao hasn't hit Lysander yet, so there's something that so far preventing an immediate knockout on the Shaman or the Manaphy. He might have put Lysander in the discard, but yeah, this is a bounce of a stadium, and I think we're going to be seeing Tamao discard the Hooper, Shaman and Shaman. It's probably basically no question about it. He might actually, yeah, just discard 2 Shamans because he's still got 1 for AZ potential. Ryan's really looking to hit those max elixirs and energy switch, and he does not find any so far, but he has got N, and this could be quite big if he can weather the storm a bit. And oh my god, no. Oh, what a horrible hand to end yourself into. And Tamao only has 2 Mega Turbo, but Ryan's just got to play the energy and retreat. Well, I think at this point you might just keep the Toad active, because it doesn't matter what gets knocked out. If anything gets knocked out, you lose. So at that point, yeah, I would have just kept the Toad active. Tamao's just looking over what he has in the discard. He did top a Versus Seeker, so if Lysander is in there, he's just won the game. But you know, I'm going to assume not. I'm going to assume he's not putting us in horrible suspense. He's probably just going to play for a Sycamore. I mean, a Sycamore is potentially game-winning if he hits his last Skyfield. I believe that was 3 in the discard, yeah. I don't know how many cards are still in this deck, but oh, he's considering the Hex. I kind of like that, because it can just keep Hooper active and win the game next turn. But I think at this point you just take the proactive play, and yeah, you just go for it. And no, that's a miss so far. So Ryan has a tiny shot. It looks like Ryan's not 100% out of this game just yet. So Tamao's just ultra balling, getting, you know, just thinning his hand, thinning his deck out a little bit, and he's just going to hit the 150 on the Hooper. So back to Ryan's turn, and let's hope Ryan has something to go with here. Of course, actually, there was some wisdom to putting Hooper active, and that's if Tamao with the knockout, Ryan won't be attacking with an extremely damaged Toad, so he finds Rough Seas, but I don't think he wants to take it here, because he's already got the 1 in play, and there's nothing, he doesn't really want to discard it with Ultra Ball. He's not actually getting that good trainer mails here. He really needs this Max Elixir to work, and taking Lysander or N seems okay. So Max Elixir has to hit. I'm not actually sure. I didn't clock if Ryan actually played a supporter yet. And yeah, actually I think he did. So unfortunately he doesn't know it, but Tamao just has the Lysander in hand for game, and that's a pretty depressing story. So takes the knockout there, and well, guys, pretty fun game. So that, everyone, was game 1, and we're now going to go to game 2. I'll do all the standard muting again. So Tamao went first that game and won fairly convincingly. We'll see what happens when Ryan goes first. Now, as I said, seeing Tamao's Facebook there. Now, as I said, Tamao isn't playing escape rope, so we can't. At least I don't believe so. So we won't see any escape rope Lysander shenanigans around Glaceon. So, Tamao is choosing who goes first, and he has to pick Ryan. I assume Ryan wants to go first. Yeah. So, okay, this is a bit more like it. Ryan's probably looking at his hand and just going, wow. Yeah, this is much better. I mean, the 2 mana fees are still actually overkill. But it's okay. So one thing I actually missed is that, of course, when Jolteon attacks, there's no way for Ryan to get around that either. So this Jolteon Glaceon war could be kind of interesting. I think Ryan's not playing an escape rope either, so if Tamao ever goes for Jolteon, I know he's not doing much damage, but that actually could be enough. The only thing Ryan could then do is Lysander around it to try and hit with Articuno to take extra knockouts or something like that. And oh boy, he's just hit 2 straight away with Glaceon. That's beautiful. Look at that. Is he going to risk just going straight for the 3rd one? Maybe. Yep, he's just going for it. And oh my god, that's 3. We're seeing a repeat of the first round, and he's not actually going straight for the Glaceon. Of course, doesn't actually need to, because he can't attack turn 1. So he'll just set up a little bit. He knows Tamao plays Skyfield, and obviously Tamao is wary of playing Skyfield first, but he can probably just hold this hand as it stands. Maybe even just pick up Hooper, or I think the Muscle Band attachment is fine. He'll probably just hold it here. Having not seen this matchup or played it much, both of them are probably not going to handle the interaction between, well, Glaceon and Tamao's deck, and then Jolteon and Ryan's deck quite well, and that's, yeah, both of them are actually lacking a quite important card. So, yeah, I think, okay, we'll see Ryan. Oh, is he going to hold the Sycamore or play it? I think he might just hold it since he's got another NG in hand. And that way he can just go straight to the Glaceon, and if the Glaceon can attack fast enough, it can actually knock out the Jolteon. So maybe he will Sycamore just to hunt for the Fury Belt. Okay, he's going for the middle ground play here. It's just AZ the Shaman and put it back down for 2 cards. It's unlikely he'll draw something that will be a horrible discard, because he's kind of got everything he needed now. He's even got an energy switch as a possible option next turn. And he's just considering the retreat, but yeah, he just holds it there. So we go to Tamao's turn. Pretty decent turn from Ryan, and oh boy, not such a good turn from Tamao there. So we're seeing a complete flip side of game 1. And I think we're going to see probably, yeah, the Fury Belt go on Glaceon. Oh, the Fury Belt going on the Toad. I think, actually, no, of course, Quaking Punch here is 100% the right play. He's just got to hope Tamao doesn't have double colourless for Flash Ray. But if I remember right, Tamao actually just has that in his hand. So we're going to see a Quaking Punch, hopefully into a Grenade Hammer. We go back to Tamao's turn, and he actually just does have the double colourless. This is actually not really what his game plan is, but it's going to work out. I'm not sure if the water deck has anything that can handle a Jolteon. I might be wrong, but I think is it all damage or all effects? I think if it's all damage. All damage. Okay, so as it's all damage, Articuno can Chilling Sigh. So there is a potential way out. So we go back to Ryan's turn. Ryan has the Zero Sick. Oh my god. for single, one card this way, one card that way. This is quite a backward and forward game, even though Tamao's not done much. Okay, and Tamao gets into a hooper here. I think he might go for it. Probably, I think here is the turn I'd personally go off and try and get some stuff. I know you don't have Spirit Links, but that Toad will be knocked out with 3 Flash Rays. Oh no, it's 4 actually, sorry. So, depends what he feels is going to be possible. So okay, personally, I'd be going for a Ray and maybe just a Mega Ray and passing turn, but Ray, and Mega Ray. Oh no, it's still deciding. I think it's actually really quite a tough decision. Okay, he just goes for the Jolteon. I think he's going to try and handle it this way. He's going to try and keep Flash Ray on, so until Ryan either can't Zero Sick or has to Chilling Sigh or something, and then he can. So when he changes from the Quaking Punch to the Chilling Sigh, he can play all his items again, and he'll be in a much better position. And Tamao didn't get a Shaman here, which I think is probably just fine. But he did draw into one here, so of course he can't play the Spirit Link as much as he wants to. He's probably sat there going, why can't I play this? Oh, okay, I think he'll probably bench the Bunny before playing the Shaman here. Bunny is it's not strictly an out, but it can help him get Flash Ray back on, and well, he's got 1 draw left if he chooses to Hooper there for a lone Shaman and simply Sky Return, but that looks like it's not going to happen. Oh, not Sky Return, sorry, set up, and he might be risking it. At this point, I think I just might, because if that one card happens to be DCE, you're still in this game. If it's not, you're not. So I think you just have to go for it. Oh, he might just be going for a Mega Ray just to evolve. That's perfectly reasonable as well. Didn't even consider that option. Okay, so yeah, it's just going for the Rays. He'll Mega Evolve on this turn and probably Mega Evolve another next turn since he's not doing anything. I think you retreat into a... it's hard to say because he won't be able to play Floatstone for a little while. But okay, he just retreats into the other Jolteon to sap a hit as well. And now Ryan has his work cut out for him. So, Ryan Trainer's Mail's there for a Versus Seeker. Not much to go to here, but he can just get some extra bench Pokemon down, and then when his Rough Seas comes down, discard Hooper, which is really nice. Yeah, he doesn't want that. He can't Zero Sick anything on Tamao's side this turn, and yeah, he gets the Rough Seas, which is a consideration to play, but I guess the Rayquaza's not attacking for a turn, at least, so he just Quake and Punches and goes back to Tamao's turn. Looks like Tamao has one decision that he can possibly make this turn, and that's, yeah, he just evolves the Mega Ray and passes back turn. So we're going to see a little bit of a slower game now than the Lightning Fast Game 1. This is, of course, untimed, so we're allowing for that because we want decks to be played out in full. It also means that like the turbo decks are, well, not exactly discouraged, but you know, you're not aiming to just take prizes quickly like Top Cut rules or anything. You're just aiming to eventually win a game. Now the Grenade Hammer here knocks out Jolteon, but then it allows Tamao to just come back with a vengeance. So Ryan just goes for the simple Quaking Punch, which I think is perfectly fair. I think there's some... well, Tamao's turn is just a pass. I think there's some merit in waiting until Tamao accidentally perhaps fills up his bench. Not really accidentally, but has to commit to get an extra draw or something. Like my consideration was just going for the Shaman for 1 for that. But that wouldn't have changed anything. But he's just going for the Quaking Punch. So eventually Tamao may... You know what? If Ryan plays the Rough Seas and Tamao doesn't have a Skyfield, then he could easily just lock Tamao out of the game even when he Grenade Hammers. So, okay, so he's just going to... Oh, okay, he's going to go for the 3 prize knockout. I'm a bit slow today, guys. So, yeah, all he needs is 1 heads on here. And he had some foresight to stick the Muscle Band on the Articuno. And this is why these 2 guys are so good. I was miles away from spotting that play. But it is also possible it was a happy accident. But knowing Ryan quite well, I don't think that's the case at all. So he goes for the Tri-Edge. Personally here, I mean, maybe it's just hindsight or knowing what Tamao's hand is. I would have stuck down the Rough Seas and limited Tamao's bench. Oh, of course the Jolteon dies anyway, so that doesn't make a difference. Back to Tamao's turn, and Tamao can now play cards. So, has to be a little careful, because though he can potentially Flash Ray again, he does know that Ryan has quite a big hand, can probably get into Zero Sick, and keep discarding those DCEs until Tamao can't Flash Ray anymore. And if Tamao can't Flash Ray, he maybe can't win this game, as it currently stands. So he's going for Skyfield. This might just be a discard. I'll be honest, it's quite hard for me to navigate this matchup as it stands. I think it's probably going to be reasonably hard for them with the added pressure of actually being in the game as well. So, okay, so there's not really too much in the discard to Sacred Ash. It looks like Tamao might just Mega Turbo and Shaman for the nice 4. Ryan's played this quite well though, I think. He's yeah, he's seeing as like one of his few win conditions. And it seems like a Lysander attack and then a Lysander Chilling Sigh. What I keep saying Chilling Sigh, Tri-Edge is a option as well. So, okay, sticks the Spirit Link on the Shaman. I mean, I think that's fair, it just gets it out of his deck. He's going to play the Ryan to 3. That's a little awkward for Ryan to have 3. But he does have another Shaman left, I believe. So, okay, so Tamao just compresses. Seeing what he's going to get rid of. Maybe red card at this point, but oh, it looks like an NG Hex and then one of the power supporters, Lysander or AZ. Most likely Lysander. Possibly the Rayquaza. It's basically useless now. Because I don't... Oh, he might have a Mega left actually in the prizes, so yeah, that's fine. Oh, the Compressor is another useless card. He doesn't really need to get rid of anymore. He's keeping on Lysander in deck, I think. I think that's perfectly reasonable. If you... basically, quite often with this Ray deck, it's kind of the rule of you draw it, you play it when it comes to Lysander. And kill like a high priority target. Because Ryan here won't always be attacking with the highest priority target. So Shaman's for more, and oh, okay, he does have a 3rd Compressor. He's just going to play it, maybe chuck out the red card, and there's a few useless cards here. Yeah, he drops the Mega Ray. So he's debating on the Lysander. Don't think he's debating on the Sycamore really, because he should have one in there already, or at least the one in his hand. So yeah, I think red card. Of course you don't have to discard all 3, you could just stop at 2, but that's I'm hoping he didn't hear that. I do have the mics muted. Now Ultra Ball's perfectly fair as well, with the full bench and everything. Don't believe he's lost his Sacred Ash yet, so Sacred Ash would make Ultra Ball still a playable card, so I think it's fair to hold 1 still in the deck, personally. So I'm not sure about the Mega Turbo as well, unless he puts it on. I guess he can put it on the other Rayquaza and have the potential for 2 different Rayquazas to have the Emerald Break. So it's not quite as active a commentary as yesterday with Joe, but this game's quite hard to navigate in terms of how the matchup is. And okay, look, so Tamao, oh yeah, Tamao of course did play N early on, and now he just leaves a Hooper active. And Ryan would actually be short of killing that even with 3 heads, so I think that's fine. He just takes the N in case of a Quaking Punch, and I think he's passing it back to Ryan. So Ryan does in fact get an Ultra Ball of this, but looks like he's probably just going to attach the energy and maybe even just attack. I think if Tamao has to go into Jolteon, then that gives Ryan the chance to Lysander this Hooper and Tri-Edge for the game. I'm assuming, of course, he just ends and attacks the Hooper. It's an interesting thing. Oh, okay, so he's actually going for the Ultra. Now, this is the time where you might curse yourself if you didn't look at what's prized, but no, he does have the last Ultra Ball, the last Shaman in deck. Gets himself to a full 6. Very nice Lysander, actually. Maybe, I mean, is he, with 2 flips he kills a Shaman, I believe. So it does 20, then plus 20, 40 and 40. Yep, so with a half chance, he actually just straight up wins the game. So let's see if he does it. I think just for the fun, you do that. Oh yeah, Lysandering the Shaman and then forcing the discard is kind of nice as well, but it's not like Tamao could discard all the Shamans anyway. He gets rid of the Hooper without float, probably the Shaman and then the other Shaman. Keep the Hooper with float, obviously, because it has the higher HP. And we'll probably just see Ryan discard Shaman, Shaman, Hooper. The reason you don't discard all the Shamans is obviously you can AZ back the one, but maybe you do here because of Jolteon's Flash Ray and the fact you've lowered the bench size back. There are a lot of mini little things with a matchup like this that you have to handle, and yeah, so he just does that. Just discards all 3 Shamans instead. I think it actually is. Oh, okay, not in this case, but it was possibly reasonable to go for a Grenade Hammer, but oh boy, and so that's the so that's the game. Okay, so final game. Tamao will take first. So Ryan has to click no. The very sad thing of clicking no as the first turn. So Tamao's start is he's got stuff to work with, so that's generally enough, and Ryan also has as well, so we might see an actual game here. Of course, Tamao will probably hunt for that red card, and oh my god. So, oh no, he can't because he wants to play it. He'd have to then play the N after, so no, he can't be going for that. This sad story of the unplayable red card. Looks like he's just gonna attach DC and N. I think he was considering just attaching the lightning there, because Ryan of course has Zero Sick, but Ryan's gonna try and go off turn 1 and not be Zero Sicking, and oh boy, looks like. Well, let's see what Ryan's hand would have been. Oh, that would have been a very nice hand. Now let's see what Tamao makes Ryan's hand become. So Tamao's like, do I play the red card first? Or I think with a card like red card, you just play it at any point. So I think you play it at the point that devastates your opponent the most. So we might see Ryan draw out of it this game, but it's hard to say. So yeah, there are a lot of options in Ryan's deck, so there are a lot of cool like little interactions between the whole Articuno, Jolteon, Glaceon thing, and eventually either side can actually take the win depending on draw basically, and how well they set up early. So, okay, Tamao's setting up pretty nicely with the double Spirit Links there, and he can just evolve the Active Ray without ending his turn, which is nice. Just keep the train going. He plays the red card. Well, let's see what Ryan gets, and oh boy. This is a Expanded Cities finals all over again with Gets This. So, Tamao actually finishes his turn without... I mean, it's a good hand for the next turn, or a playable hand, but nothing more gets going here. But Ryan does have a Pokemon. He has 2 Pokemon and a Trainer's Mail, so looks like he's going to play the Pokemon down first, I think. Oh, that's for the Max Elixir. Personally, I'd do the Trainer's Mail first to see what you get. So he basically needs Supporter or Ultra Ball. Oh boy. Or it's a repeat of Game 1. And oh no. So he ventures the Toad and ends the turn. Oh no, of course he was Max Elixiring first, hoping to give himself slightly better odds with the Trainer's Mail. That's actually the correct play. Again, guys, it's a very hard game commentating players who are just at this level, because you can't always figure what's going through their heads for each play. Sometimes, well, I can't always anyway. Sometimes it's not immediately obvious. But here it's pretty obvious that Tamao's just going to go straight for a knockout. He's deciding what to Ultra Ball away, I think. So he's looking at the Glaceon, looking at its HP. So I think he wants to keep Lysander in hand. So yeah, he discards the Hex and the Compressor. I think that's perfectly fine. Keeping the Skyfield is fine as well, because if I remember correctly, he saw Ryan get Rough Seas off the Trainer's Mail. So he grabs the Hooper. Doesn't need much to knock out this Manaphy. In fact, just benching the Hooper would do it. See, this is Ray in action. When Ray goes first, it's just such a brutal deck. It just goes through everything. As long as you built a kind of speed version of it. Tamao does go for a Jolteon here, just in case he needs it throughout the game. People started playing this Jolteon, I believe, for like Toad, generally. Hoping it would ever work against Night March was a bit much. I think actually here, just going for the Emerald Break knockout without any more bench additions is probably fine. Actually, no, just the one's okay as well. It's all things equal, really, because you can Skyfield, unless Ryan hits into N. Now, another problem with this is, though Tamao takes fast prizes and so is weaker to N, he's not really weaker to N, because his energy doesn't go anywhere unless the Pokemon's knocked out. And, oh, well, he keeps the Skyfield in play rather than discarding with Rough Seas. So I'm quite intrigued by that, but Tamao just goes for the Lysander and the Glaceon. He's not letting that bother him this game. And that's not a knockout. Oh, Tamao, you silly boy. So Tamao's probably just realised. There we go. There's the whoops. So Ryan did top the Xerosic. I actually did not have time to go back to Ryan's turn there, but yeah, so very silly Tamao there. Gave Ryan a potential extra turn back in this game. But hey, I guess that maybe have been a potential bait out a card, and then he ends him the turn after. It obviously, you know, he may end him first before taking the prize, but it obviously wasn't. So Ryan has to just play the Rough Seas and pass, and oh, what a sad story. Let's hope the very least Tamao doesn't BM and just plays his Pokemon down. There we go. And takes the knockout. And, well, oh boy. So that was rather crushing, really. So,
Thrilling stuff.
so you guys are welcome to end the PTCGO thing and come back to the call and whatever. I don't know if Ryan's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. well, game 2 was quite fun to watch. Game 1
Yeah,
and...
sorry about that. Red card.
When you
One
got
of...
you got the red card off of the trainer's mail before the N, and it was like
I don't know why. I don't even know why that was a question, because I really wanted to use red card turn 1, but
But then you'd have
I
to
knew I had
end.
N in my hand, so...
Yeah, that got me for a second. I was like, the red card that will never be played or something, and then you just played it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, the little interaction I was talking about was that well, another interaction I was thinking of is that chilling Sai actually still hits Jolteon.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
what what I was gonna go for if I had to.
Yeah, and
I was aware of that as a potential strategy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was his only out pretty much in his whole deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think so. Yeah, or Lysandering with Articuno, or like rotating 0-6. So
Yeah, that was a good way.
yeah, it's quite honestly. I didn't really know the matchup would be quite so one-sided, but I guess it's just if Ray goes first and gets some kind of setup and red card, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think those games really show it as one-sided. It was just more the fact
it's
that,
like
Ryan drew badly 2 games, and
Right.
that's
Amen.
Pokemon sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good that it's now and not at Worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll get his luck.
Yeah.
He always does.
Yeah. Come on, Ryan. Where's the Moorhouse charm?
It's like 3 months away.
Yeah.
So, what made you guys pick these decks? Well, I know what made Tamao pick this deck.
Yeah, please don't tell the whole world what I did. But
Okay.
I picked Ray because I was gonna play water deck. Decided on my own free will to not play that last minute and go Rayquaza. Yeah.
Yeah, just because reasons. And I was
Yes,
obviously
because
okay with
reasons.
this. Yeah, and Ryan actually announced at some point that he was probably going to play water and then stuck with it anyway, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was... Sorry, go ahead.
That's cool. I just thought it was pretty fun, like, stuff to try out.
Yeah.
I
Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead again.
go.
No,
I was gonna
you
say,
go.
I do think it is actually probably one of the best decks in the format right now.
I think
Yeah.
let's be I think Benji created it, or the German guy who created it, like the list that won. I think that list is just really clever.
It was a really good list.
Yeah.
So for the next format, you basically take out Aegislash and put in Glaceon EX, and that's most of the changes you make. Is apart from adding N, there's not much else you can do to that deck, and it's still really strong.
Yeah, not much changes this format for quite a few decks, except you get rid of some cards for N.
Yeah.
Is what I've noticed. Yeah. Well, there was actually someone playing that deck yesterday. I won't say who. I won't spoil it just yet. But well, the games didn't go quite so badly for them. But yeah, I mean, then when it went first, game 2, Ryan you really showed its true strength in getting like, was that 4 energy down?
4 energy straight away.
That's
4 energy turn 1 was insane, and I just sat there and attached in Swift.
yeah, Swift for 30.
Swift for 30. Yeah.
I was thinking as I saw that game, I was like, who needs Blastoise now? We've got our own mini Blastoise.
Pretty much.
And no Getsis to stop him. Yeah, so did you guys enjoy the games? Well,
They could have been better.
Yeah, they could have been better.
yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a shame when a game is recorded or gonna be streamed and it's just so brutal.
Yeah.
How it happens.
Like the most fun games to watch I find are like the tense close ones, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, game 2 was quite fun just because it was like, will Ryan do this tri-edge play? Oh, yep, he will. And then
I was so surprised. I was so surprised when he used tri-edge when I had 80 HP left.
Yeah, I couldn't decide.
thought he would-
Like, I probably should Quaking Punch for a while, but I was like, well, I could take these 3 prizes, and then he has to answer the Articuno, or else
Yeah.
I can basically force a Shaman KO.
and then I think you didn't answer the Articuno that same turn, did you?
No, I missed the DC.
Yeah,
so.
that was it. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate, but one had already gone, and
Yep.
I think maybe
I had one prize.
one was priced. Yeah, so
It was 2 in deck, and it was 2 in a deck of about 13 in the end.
oh, okay. So it's a
Probably
bit of a
should have
shame, but I think with the deck Ryan was playing against your deck, I think that kind of cool, like the greedy, aggressive play, is sometimes just the right one, because how else are you winning?
Yeah, the other thing was I did have the Glaceon on the bench, so it was like I could always stall for a bit anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, when Tamao I think you had 2 bench spots left, and you hoopered for the Mega Rays, I genuinely thought you might be hoopering for Shaman for 1 card, hoping to hit DCE.
I couldn't justify because I couldn't get Mega Ray and Shaman.
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
could get Mega Ray and Shaman, I would have done that, but I couldn't justify it, so I just went for the 2 Mega Rays.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, I was thinking about it, and depending on how I felt at the time, honestly, I might just go for the Shaman, hope for the 1,
Shaman, yeah.
because if you get it and you win, you're like, yeah, I'm the boss. Shaman for 1, get the exact card I need, and otherwise it was likely you were going to lose anyway. So
Possibly.
I think the Mega Ray was probably still the right play. So yeah. Funny, I thought of a Shaman for 1 before I thought of 2 Mega Rays.
No, I did too. I'll be honest. My mind was on Shaman for 1 before I thought, okay, maybe it's better to just get 2 Mega Rays out over the next 2 turns.
It's good that they put the Pokemon at the front for you on PTCGO, because you're like, oh, this is a better option.
Not return it back.
Oh yeah, it is good. I haven't really played much PTCGO, and it's quite nice.
Yeah,
change.
I think the like layout isn't too bad now. Like they do some kind of fix and mess it up, and then do some kind of fix, it fixes something, and then so on and so on. It's just like Windows, really.
Yeah, the block's bronze on break now for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's actually a thing for the to note for the viewers. There'd actually be 8 bronze on break decks right now, but we unfortunately it needs a bit of fixing. I will I'll sign off here, but we can still just discuss the match or whatever. But I'll sign off for all the YouTube viewers. So wait, actually no, there was one thing I was going to say first. What was it? Yeah, Bronzong Break needs a bit of a fix, because I had 3 Bronzongs down. One was the Metal Fortress, one was a breaked version of the other one. I was allowed to use 1 Metal Lynx when my opponent Shadow Stitching, not 2. Like, they let me use 1, but then they were like, Break doesn't count as a Pokemon. Don't be silly. Anyway, so yeah, that was the other brackets, game 1, and unfortunately, let's say, Ryan isn't the unofficial Nationals champion right now. It's
Still undefeated. Since you're the last person to beat me, Jake.
Yes, it's still Tamao, and we'll see Tamao playing the winner of Nick and Charlie. So that might be a little while still, and the winner of those plays the winner of, well, I think it's already been revealed that Alex has won against Scott, and then the winner of Luke and Adam, which now that will be an interesting game, because I already know what decks they're both playing, and
Okay.
oh boy, that's gonna be fun. So yeah, that's the thing with Pokemon. Sometimes you do get the like really silly matchups, but so I think this one had some quite cool interactions in it, and it was actually really hard for me to follow, just because like everything you were doing is faster thinking than me, and so I was like, oh, maybe he's going for this. Oh no, that's stupid. He's going for this. But we got there in the end.
Good work, Jake.
Well done.
Alright, guys. So I'll post this probably by the end of this weekend.
Cool.
And now I'll just do a little sign out thing for YouTube. Bye, YouTube.